few weeks ago, I set out on the journey to start a Pokemon card business in 2025. I absolutely love Pokemon cards. I've been pulling ripping packs since 1999, and this week we're going to cover week 2 of how it's been going. Hey, what's going on? It's Brian. This is PokeBri. Hey, I want to thank everyone for tuning in, watching this video, subscribing, liking, commenting, getting to know some of you in the DMs over the past couple weeks. I really appreciate all of your guys' support, man. It's been such a wild ride just in this 2 weeks. We've got a lot to cover in just this past week of what's happened in the world of Pokemon. Obviously, we've had massive sets like Prismatic Evolutions released at the filming of this video. Journey Together in Japan just released. TikTok shut down for a day. So there's so much to cover, but I'm excited to give you guys a review of how my last week has been so far in January of 2025. Obviously, we know on January 19th, TikTok shut down. And originally, that was where my platform started. I didn't have a lot of followers. I had like maybe 600 or 700 followers on there. I kind of neglected it for a couple of years, and then I recently came back upon starting this business. Obviously, that was a really good place to just gain organic growth. A lot of content creators and Pokemon businesses like Pokeyeni started up on TikTok, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna double down over there. And of course, as I'm starting to get growth, as I'm starting to figure out what my brand is, what my type of videos are gonna be, the government shuts it down. I was kind of like bummed about that because the algorithm there is so good. And honestly, for Pokemon card content, it's like everyone's on there. So if you're not on TikTok, get on TikTok. Make sure that you are doubling down on that while it's still available. So anyways, on TikTok, I had something actually crazy happen to me. So of course, I was out shopping for Prismatic Evolutions on release day. I didn't get any for pre-order, so me and a friend were out. He was out probably like 6 a.m. looking for stuff, and then I got up as I was like hitting the refresh button on freaking Pokemon Center to see if they had restocked Prismatic Evolutions online. Of course they didn't, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go to my local Target. Usually they do a restock on Thursdays or Fridays, so I was there like 7:50 a.m. and yeah, there was a bunch of other Pokebros there, and I was like, oh shoot, either one, this is gonna get interesting and really ugly, or two, we're all gonna be really good people and make sure we all get product. All of us were chopping it up in the line, but we knew the moment the doors open, no one's friends anymore. So there was no Prismatic Evolutions at that Target that I was at, but one of my local game shops that I frequent often is literally like across the street from there. And basically what happened is the owner came out of the store like 10 minutes before. You know, I got there probably like a half hour before, got online. There's probably about 30-ish, 40 people there already waiting. So he came outside the store, pretty much told everyone what the rules were, what stock he had. He was kind of intense about it. He's kind of an intense dude. But basically, I decided to film it, and it went viral. It got 3.2 million views as of today. A bunch of people in there commenting, cheering on the local businesses. So one, it was a great win for me personally, not just because I had a video go viral, but one, it was about Pokemon. Two, it was about supporting a local business. And three, it was my last video to pretty much get posted before the ban. So with that, I obviously was like, well, now I need to go double down on Instagram. I posted the same video over there that I did on TikTok, and TikTok got 1 million views in the first day, and then the video on Instagram got 1,000 views. With that, even though there hasn't been a lot of growth on Instagram, I actually had something crazy happen that I wasn't expecting. I had gotten reached out to. Somehow this person found me through the algorithms. They reached out and said, hey, we'd love to know if you'd want to vend one of our shows coming up in February. And I was like, whoa, I mean, I wasn't even ready to start vending shows yet. I don't have enough singles inventory to do something like that. I see people on YouTube saying that they want like $10,000 to $15,000 of inventory, and I'm like, I don't got that. I probably maybe have like $1,000 of singles and cards that are also very slow moving because all of the main ones move so fast. All of the big hitters move so fast. Basically on February 8th, I will be vending that show very small in a very small town near here, but I figured, you know what, let me start small. And let me kind of learn it and figure out how to do it well. So I'm trying to get some branding going, some banners, all that stuff, so I can really stand out, make sure that's my first show, like I can really get my name out there. And so that'll be on February 8th, so that'll be a fun video. In addition to that, on TikTok, I actually had a account reach out to me where their main products are surrounded around Japanese sealed. They said, hey, we would love you to be an affiliate partner with us. Can you promote our products? With this Pokemon card business hobby, part of it is diversifying all the different channels and revenue streams, because making $100,000 in sales is great. But if I can also feed that with other things like doing affiliate program stuff, I'm all for it. So I'm putting together a contract for myself right now, what my usage fee will be, if they want to do organic, if they want to do paid. But ultimately, again, if I do that stuff, I'm going to make sure it aligns with my values and what I'm trying to do with my business. But at the same time, I'm not going to do it for free. So
gotta make that, gotta stack that coin, you know what I'm saying?
So a huge win that happened with social media this past week, going viral, getting reached out by a vendor, and then being reached out to be an affiliate partner. So some big wins there for sure on social media. Now let's get to some general business wins. I had my first PSA return. If you didn't see my video, go check it out. I had submitted 3 cards to PSA, all came back 10s. It was my very first submission, so I was stoked on that. I got 10s on all of them, and already 2 of them have sold. The Charizard is sold, the Latios is sold, so now I have left is the Ceruledge from Surging Sparks. I'm just stoked. They sold in literally less than a week. That was a huge win for the business because slabs are probably the highest profit margin. I'll probably start doing regular submissions as much as I can based on whatever revenue the business is bringing in. Sorry, I got my notes up here on my screen, so I'm just kind of looking at this. Also, okay, this is massive. My new website is up. I've been cleaning it up and posting it on all the platforms. I've been kind of like soft launching it, but the new website is up. I can finally start moving away from eBay. It took 15% of my PSA 10 Charizard sale. I was so bummed because I was like calculating what the return was after shipping and all that stuff. And I was like, wait, this is more than 12%. And I was like, they took 15% of this one. And so it's kind of a bummer. I am stoked to finally move over to my website. I have branded it as Grail Vault Collections, and I wanted that separate from Poke Bride. I just want that to be like my personal brand. But Grail Vault is where I'll be doing all of my business at. And so eventually I'll get an LLC set up for that thing. Right now I'm kind of chilling on it. But Grail Vault Collections is up. Go check it out, especially if you are a Pokemon card business owner. Please go check it out, tear it up, tear me up in the comments, or send me a DM if you don't want to start a comment war. But I love your feedback on it. I did design it myself. And if you're wondering what platform I built it on Squarespace. And the only reason why is because I am very, very familiar with that platform. I know that Wix and Shopify, mainly Shopify, is way more scalable. And I was like dabbling on Shopify like the other night, and I'm like, dude, I built like 15 websites on Squarespace at least. So I just know how to use it, and I know how to tweak it in a way that makes it work for me. Whereas Shopify feels a little bit more limiting, and I was like trying to figure out why isn't this working? Why isn't this integration working? So I'm over on Squarespace for now, but maybe down the road, I will upgrade to the Shopify platform. Okay, and another massive win is I want to give a huge shout out, and I think this is what we should be doing more as creators, especially small business owners, is I want to give a huge shout out to Pokédex Marketplace here on YouTube. He reached out to me and was just like very like encouraging about my content and everything I'm doing. And so like we've been going back and forth. I've been giving him some advice on equipment and helping him level up his production value. Honestly, the words that he was providing, honestly, it's invaluable to me. So thank you so much, Harrison, at Pokédex. Guys, go check out his website. He is a small Pokemon card business owner. Go check out his YouTube, go subscribe to it. We're all kind of in this like same boat of building this thing together. So the more that we can help each other, the more that we win. Harrison was super gracious with giving me his Japanese supplier. And I've been talking to a few and I've been kind of liking their rates. And eventually I reached out to his and I made my first purchase from Japan and from him literally like yesterday morning. It was like a $500 order. I picked up a few boxes, 3 or 4 boxes of Terastal, a couple boxes of 151. I'm gonna make some bundles out of them. But honestly, the most important thing here is I wanna give a shout out to him because again, he gave me that supplier and we've been going back and forth, just encouraging each other. And so again, go check him out. He's an awesome dude. And that kind of leads into sort of my next thing for the business is stay tuned on this channel or follow me on the other channels like Instagram and TikTok, where I will be launching an official Discord channel. It'll be under Grail Vault, so I'm sure a lot of people will want to jump in there, but I want to create a private channel for those of us who are starting a Pokemon card business. That way we can share insights, we can share wins, losses, banter with each other, or whatever it is. But I want to create a private channel that way if we do want to share information like who our suppliers are. So stay tuned in future videos when that will launch, because I think that will be super valuable. And if it wasn't for Harrison reaching out to me and giving me some advice on how to approach the Japanese market, I wouldn't have made that decision. I probably would have been sitting on it for another couple weeks. So really was just a launch pad for me to kind of keep this thing moving, especially with how fast everything's moving in the Pokemon card market. So shout out to Harrison at Pokédex Marketplace. Let's go on to next moves. Actually, I don't think I even showed where my sales were at. So here's my sales. That's just on eBay. I had probably made another $500-ish to $1,000 in-person sales. So I got capital now, and now that I have capital, I have to spend it. And I could have easily just been like, I did this just by selling what's in my personal collection. I could just pocket it and go buy more stuff and just sit on it and just have fun. But I understand, my wife understands that in order to get money, you got to spend money and spend money wisely. And so obviously I did the Japanese booster box order, which is a huge win. But as I've said in my last video, the next thing is to buy a collection. So I have a couple of collections I'm looking at on Marketplace right now. They're ranging around $2,000 to $2,500. So I've been asking them, hey, can you send me more pics of your collection? What's the condition so I can TCG player it out? Obviously, the thing with these collections and buying them out is that if it's a $2,000 collection, there's a reality of maybe only 1,000 or 800 of it that's actually movable and sellable, which means I'll be sitting on about $1,200 of inventory of stuff that probably just won't sell for a long time unless I get creative. And so that'll be a good learning thing for me of buying a collection, because one, with that, take what I can from there, grade a handful of them, flip the singles, and eventually build up a little bit of stock to do the Whatnot stream down the road. So that is the current next move, is buying that collection. And of course, getting myself ready for this show that I'm going to vend on February 8th. I just have so many singles I need to post up on the website. I have like a whole stack here of stuff that needs to go up. So if you need any, hit me up. I got some cards. I think the only other thing I want to talk about, which I don't really want to end so much like on a down note, but I think maybe a lot of you will relate to it. After the weekend, the stuff go viral on TikTok and seeing the platform grow and seeing people reach out to me, it was really cool to kind of see the momentum there, and it kind of feeling like, especially everyone knows that in the Pokemon card business game, like, your social media presence is everything. More so than that, it kind of settled in of being like, okay, this is growing here. How do I continue to ride this wave? But I think I had a moment, like an Imposter Syndrome moment Monday, where I was like, the reality of actually selling $100,000 of Pokemon cards, like, is achievable in a lot of sense if I do it right. Kind of running the numbers of where all of that's at and knowing where some of these other guys on YouTube are more established, like, I realized, I was like, man, I need to actually do $1 million. Knowing how razor thin the margins are in this industry, I was like, oh my God, $1 million selling Pokemon cards. And it kind of settled in on being like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to hit that goal. Like, how could I hit that goal consistently? And I'm a very impatient person. And so for me, I like to move fast. Sometimes I like to just like make a decision like pretty quick. Even though I'm very calculated, I don't want to sit on like an idea too long. Like, I want to make sure like I'm moving on it. I kind of had a moment of Imposter Syndrome earlier this week. I was like, man, I don't know if I can actually achieve this. I don't know how I can actually do this and scale this properly. Knowing where guys like Pokeyenny has come in the past 3 years, like, that's where he's at now. And in my mind, I'm like, man, can I do it faster? Is it possible? And with everything going on in my life, no, it's not. And so I had to kind of like set realistic expectations for myself and sort of like reel myself back in and not be discouraged, in a sense of like trying to have this goal that is unrealistic, but have fun with it at the same time. And so to have this goal that is realistic or unrealistic, and for that matter, because I see the kind of work that a lot of people do in this industry, and they work hard. It's a grind. I mean, right now, this was 1 week. I think I got to Tuesday or Wednesday, and I was like, man, I need to film some more content. And I think I got to a point when I was filming the other video, and I was looking at myself in the camera, and I was like, I'm tired, And I had to kind of like take a moment. Like, last night I was going to film this video, but my wife was like, you need to sleep tonight. You just need to rest. And so I did that. I feel a little bit better. I had a coffee this morning. I didn't realize grandes were this big. I was expecting like a little one like that. And so, oh man, it's good. So anyways, that was just something that I wanted to share with you guys. Just want to be a little bit vulnerable about where I was at, even though there's a lot of wins. There's moments where I was just like, oh gosh, I don't know if I can pull this off. That's why I really appreciate your guys' encouragement. I appreciate you all reaching out, commenting. Like I said, the TikTok and the Instagram, I feel like a lot of those are vanity metrics a lot of times, but I really feel like a lot of you are very supportive over here in my journey. Even though it's a smaller subscriber amount, I feel like a lot of you are really following along because you care about Pokemon and you generally want to see me succeed or maybe fail. So I think otherwise, let me end this on a high note. I watched a video the other day. I'm gonna link it, and I thought it was really interesting. Of course, I was looking for starting a Pokemon card business in 2025, and a video came up from that was a couple of years ago, and this guy was talking about the concept of profit first. So for most of us, we think here's our sales, here's our expenses, and then what do we have left over to profit? And he kind of talked through switching the narrative a little bit, where you go, here's your sales and here's your profit, and then here are your expenses. So I was like, oh, that's really interesting, because if I say I have $2,000, I'm gonna leave $500 for me or $1,000 for me, and I have $500 to be smart with to grow from there. And so I might adopt that a little bit and see for a month. If you guys have any business tips or ways that you're managing your finances, let me know, comment below. Or if you have something that's been working for you to track how you are, one, scaling. You buy 5 booster boxes and then you make your 10-15% margin. What do you do with that? I'm generally curious. So comment below on how you guys do that. I'd love to hear your different methods on it and how you guys are actually scaling and growing, because money in is great, money out is great, but money back to me and you is even more important. So I'd love to know how you guys are planning to actually scale and put aside that profit as liquid down the road. Anyways, that's it for this week's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will be posting a couple more videos, maybe 1 or 2 later this week. I want to make sure that you guys have weekly updates from me, PokeBri. Again, thank you so much. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, go follow me on the socials, check out grailvault.com. We'll see you guys in the next video.